Hello, and welcome back to How Kelly Sees It. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the battle at the Ministry in the wizarding world of Harry Potter at Epic Universe. Lumos. We got the atmosphere going.
Straight through 904. Do not stop walking.
Oh my god! Y'all, this is... I'm so sorry, but like, I'm gonna go to the right here. Like, this isn't... If you're a fan, I can't explain what this feels like. It's beautiful. Okay, so to be real, this place is gorgeous and the scaling of it, again, is amazing. It feels like you're in the movie, and that's the only way I can explain it. I mean, I think a lot of people got tears of joy when they walked in here, and we're not trying to be over dramatic. It's just, if you've watched these movies thousands of times on ABC when they did the rewatches, and you watched them all in the theaters, and you've seen the war and the Ministry, it's a lot because it's so... You've always dreamed of being in movies when you were a kid. Like, you want to be transported to that place, and Universal does it again. It just doesn't make sense in the context of this world. Don't get me wrong, I am blessed to have walked into these walls. But adding 1920s Paris and mixing in this time turner is what is confusing, because I think the queue's better than the ride, and I'm not afraid to say that. So in my last video, I had the title based off what Universal calls this world as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It's the continuation of Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. This is Epic's version, but when you go in, it is very much Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. However, Fantastic Beasts is not as money worthy, I believe. This is all my opinion. I think they had to throw Harry Potter in there to get people amped up about this, and it probably is their biggest money producer of all the worlds, even at the other parks. Harry Potter has such a huge following and such a huge merch following, and I think they had to emphasize that it was Harry Potter World, not Fantastic Beasts. I think a ride based off Fantastic Beasts would be really interesting. Honestly, it probably would have done better than Universal gives it credit for. I think that ride, if it was really good, it would have just got the promo it deserved because of how good the ride is, not because of the title. So then you continue through the queue, and you do get to see Dolores Umbridge's office with the cats on the plate. You get to see Higgledy with her shoe off, and all the pink and glamour that Umbridge brings to this world. Her office is just as it was kind of in the movies. It was really cool to see. There's a lot of moving pieces in there, and Higgledy kind of explains what's about to happen on the ride and how Hermione Granger's there, and she seems really fond of her, and then we get to see her again in the ride itself. So my thoughts on the Battle of the Ministry ride as a whole. It's not in my top 3. I know that much. To be completely honest, I rode this ride twice, had the opportunity to ride it a third time. Technically, I went 3 times, but I did not want to deal with that virtual queue, and I had other things I needed to do that I didn't have time to do the first 2 days. It wasn't even on my mind. Nope. um, I probably won't be going back to Epic for a while. If I go out of my way to go back to Epic, I don't think this is going to be something that I'm going to be rushing to go see out of all the other rides, or shows or whatever, because it just wasn't my favorite. I will take Gringotts over the Battle at the Ministry any day of the week. I love the indoor roller coaster vibes of Gringotts. When you ride any of these rides and it's just like these screens and there's a story going and you go through it the first time and you don't know what to expect. Like, you didn't expect to see Voldemort in Gringotts, I don't think. Like, I didn't. I have to ride it a few times before I make a decision on it. And I know I've only rode the Ministry of the Magic twice, and it was during preview era, so there was like a bunch of issues. The ride itself has sensors in the seats, almost like Jimmy Fallon Knight Rider, where, you know, they're like arms up and they check your seats. It's checking like a sensor in the seat to make sure that like they know that you're in it. It's kind of like that. So you have a seat belt, and then they have a sensor in the floor, a sensor by your butt, and I think one in the back of your seat, like near your upper back. And it's supposed to censor and give the okay for that ride cart to move along and that everybody's there. I have heard that that drop has left because people were moving in their seat and the sensor was thinking that they fell off or something. Like, it was just not registering that they were there. And then the whole thing stopped mid-ride and like pushed them through without the ride going, because each of these devices are on their own little trolley cart. I know a lot of people have had problems with it going down and the sensor's not working. Like, the first day that we did it, like, we had a lot of issues even on the second ride, because like my husband, his seat was going off, like it wasn't, the sensor was not working. They told him, get up, sit down, get up, sit down, get up, sit down. And then he finally got it, but then mine went out and they made me get up, sit down. And then I sat down and it was fine. And the guy behind us had to get up, sit down. And then they just told us to get off that cart altogether. And then we had to wait. Everybody in the line was pissed at us, like acting like it was our fault. And then we got back on our cart. We went through, and then we hit the drop and the cart stopped. And yeah, that's what happened. And I heard the drop might be moved for that reason. So the cart stopped, acted like all the screens were like blurred, like glitchy, because they weren't going to let those play out because they thought our cart was stopped. So the machine moved us all the way to the end for the exit, and the guy was like, I hope you enjoyed. And we're like, we didn't see anything. Like, we saw like maybe the first few scenes and then it stopped after that. So you know, it was crazy. But I rewatched the POVs on YouTube and I still wasn't as impressed with it as I wanted to be. I just feel like they missed out on an opportunity to really give this world the cherry on top, which is make it Fantastic Beasts themed all the way through and through. Give me Newt in his suitcase. Give me Dumbledore and Grindelwald like fighting. Give me, you know, Credence tearing up New York City. Like, I don't know exactly what they could have done with it, but I feel like they could have somehow had some ongoing theme between the 3 movies and just kind of like plop something in there. Although I don't know who would play Grindelwald just because of all the actors that played him. I don't know like who would, I don't even know if that would be a thing. Maybe that's why they never did it. But it would have been interesting. And I think the other thing that bothers me so much about this ride is that Epic is not, everybody knows this by now, Epic is not a park that is easy to do in the rain. There is a lot of weather delays, and Ministry of Magic is just one of the few dark rides that you can be inside in. And rides has more problems than the ones outside, you know? So it's like if this ride has technical issues all the time, and it's only one of the rides, you know, out of what? Monsters Unchained, Ministry of Magic, and Mario Kart are the only three that are like indoors. So when it rains, those are your three options, technically, unless you're doing something else that doesn't involve like an outdoor ride. But like, that's not. I would go to Mario Kart before I would go to Ministry of Magic. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that ride, you can have different outcomes because you have different scores. It's a little bit like, it's a lot going on with the augmented reality, but kind of going through the rooms and stuff is fun if you want to take that off. And, you know, I liked shooting the little turtles and stuff was fun for me. And Monsters Unchained has quick access, man. Like, when I first went during previews, those lines were crazy because everybody was hyping up these two rides. Ministry of Magic, Monsters Unchained, best rides I've ever been on. Oh my God, they were the most amazing rides in all the theme parks ever. And that is what you heard constantly. And I'm not trying to hate on anybody's opinion. These are mine. I like Monsters Unchained, and I will be getting into all that and dark more in my next video. But Ministry of Magic, I'm just like, you have Mario Kart, which is pretty quick, and I won't say it's super quick, but like your cars are just kind of going, everything's working pretty well. And because they have nailed that down from the other California park and stuff, you have Monsters Unchained, which is kind of the same make of like Forbidden Journey. Each car is just kind of going. You have this platform, you just go, go, go. And once that started getting tested and going through, like the line waits have been really low for that. Like it's been nice having just like an on flow. And then even with, you know, Ministry of Magic just failing, it's just 120. It's like worse than Hagrid. It's waiting times. And it's not worth it, in my opinion. I wouldn't honestly wait more than 45 minutes to ride that ride, like on a normal day. Like if parks were kind of getting to the point, you know, you go on your phone and you see like 55 minutes for Gringotts or 55 minutes even for Forbidden Journey for some reason. Like, I don't know. I would rather go on those before I would go on Ministry of Magic. That's just my honest take. I don't mean it in a bad way. I really wanted to enjoy this ride, and I think I fell for the overhype. I get it. It has new technology. I don't know. And I rewatched it on YouTube, and if you're curious and you really want to see if it's worth your time, I would suggest looking at a POV if you're one of those people that don't mind spoilers, because seeing something on a video is way different than seeing it in person. But I don't know. I had to rewatch it just to remember what happened in the ride, but I wasn't a fan. I don't know what I was expecting. Something better, maybe, but I kind of like how Monsters Unchained and Forbidden Journey kind of throws you into it with the animatronics, but in this one, you're just kind of like watching, even though they push you around, you feel it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel as immersed in these worlds in this specific ride. And I feel like the technology's off, the sensors in the seats are off. It's a mess, and I feel like they're going to have ongoing problems with this ride. And as much as people have hyped it up and everybody wants to go on it, I feel like it's not gonna fall well in the future. But maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I'll change my opinion. Maybe I'll go back to Epic and I'll be like, you know what, you guys, I was wrong. And Ministry of Magic was actually like a really great ride. But at the moment, I'm just going to have to give it a thumbs down. I don't think you should spend your whole day waiting in line for Ministry of Magic, and that's my opinion. Do not waste your day waiting in line for Ministry of Magic if you have to make time for food, bathroom breaks, family running around, doing whatever. You want to do character meets, because character meets are taking a long time, like, and especially like Hiccup and Toothless is taking a long time. So like, just plan your day accordingly. If you can schedule time to do the Ministry of Magic, do it. Going through the Metro Flu and the queue is amazing, and I don't think you would regret that. Seeing the Ministry of Magic for the first time is going to blow your mind. 100% that queue is beautiful. Definitely do that. But waiting in line for the ride, maybe once. I don't know. Just make sure that you get your money's worth of this park by doing everything that you can with your family and get your food in. Don't forget to eat. Don't forget to eat, because if you keep skipping eating to go stand in line, you're going to hate yourself at the end of the day. And you're probably going to have like low blood sugar and heat exhaustion and just like no energy. So remember to take care of you going to the park. Don't just like rush to get on this ride. It's not worth it. I promise you, you'll be fine. Watch it on YouTube if you don't, whatever. But I think you'll be fine. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Not everybody's going to be excited about this opinion. That's fine. It's just what it is. So on that note, everybody, good night.